Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here with our Monday Night Raw review. It is the 18th of March, and I thought tonight's show a little bit hit or miss, to be honest. Though we had some good things on the show, but at the same time, we had some not good things on the show. And then, I mean, I don't know what to say about the Angle thing. You know, I'll just get to it off the bat. So, Kurt Angle comes out to announce his opponent for WrestleMania. Comes out there and he thanks the McMahon family for allowing him to have the opportunity to choose his opponent. He says that I want to thank the McMahon family because they're letting me make this decision, blah, 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 whatever. And he goes, and the person that I want to face at WrestleMania is somebody that's been a thorn in my side since I became the Raw general manager. I want to go out there and I want to face Baron Corbin. He said that he wants to face Baron Corbin and that he wants to make Baron Corbin submit at WrestleMania. What the hell was this? Why are we getting Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin? And then, fast forward a little more to the Baron Corbin-Apollo Crews match, and one of the first things Michael Cole says during this match is, you know, there are many fans on social media upset that Kurt Angle actually chose Baron Corbin as his opponent for WrestleMania. And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock, but why bring that up? That just makes it seem even dumber. When Kurt goes, I'm doing it for all of you guys. I'm doing it for you, the fans. But then Michael Cole says, the fans don't want this match. Well, that made Kurt look like a dummy, like he doesn't know what the fans want. He's disconnected from the fans. Joe Decker, probably. He asked if that was scripted for Kurt. Probably. Most of Kurt's stuff is completely scripted. But other than that, you know, there were some good things on Raw. There were some bad things on Raw. There were some weird things on Raw, like the Ronda Rousey, Travis Brown stuff. But we'll get to all that. Let's see who's with us in the live chat right now. First, we've got Dontrell Bailey, Lola Cruz, Gabriel Perez, Noah Hall, Derek Bocek, the wrestler, Henry McKenna Cavallo, Chris Power, Ryan Marks, George John Cox, T-Life, Doug Jackson, and so many more of you guys. So with that, tonight's Monday Night Raw did kick off with the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and this entire crowd in Chicago just boos the entire ever-loving crap out of him. As soon as you see Brock, or you hear Brock's music, boo. As soon as they see Brock, boo. And Brock and Heyman come down to the ring. And they're booing and booing and booing, and Brock's pandering. He's got that championship held high over his head, holding it up, knowing that crowd just hates to see that. And they're booing and booing. And then all of a sudden, my name is Paul Heyman. And the crowd's doing it with him. And I am the advocate to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. And as soon as he says Brock Lesnar, they're booing again. But the entire crowd is doing Heyman's little spiel with him. And then they're booing again as soon as he says Brock Lesnar. Well, it's like, these fucking marks in Chicago. No offense to anybody who lives in Chicago, but these people there tonight, that was just the markiest of mark moves. Yes, Luke, we will be taking calls after we talk Raw like normal on Mondays and Tuesdays. But it's like, that was the markiest of mark moves you can do. And then they start chanting CM Punk lightly. Like, it wasn't big CM Punk chants, but there was some light CM Punk chants. It's like, wow. Mystic Eclipse, if I offended you, I apologize. But these people in Chicago tonight, that was a markest of mark moves. So, Heyman said that Seth Rollins, his necessity, no, oh my bad, he I don't even know how to say this word. Excuse me, Mystic Eclipse. Mystic Eclipse. Well, make me time you out. So let me try this word again. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman came out, the boos. Heyman said that Seth Rollins necessitated, I think I said that word right, I don't even know, this appearance by Lesnar and called him a revisionist. He repeated Rollins' claim that Lesnar has trouble with guys who are the same style and smaller type of guys, but then Heyman goes, but Lesnar still always beats them. He stated that Lesnar had trouble. Lesnar faced AJ Styles, but he beat him. Lesnar faced Daniel Bryan, but he beat him. Lesnar faced Finn Balor, but he beat him. And Seth's not going to be any different. Heyman thought it was funny Rollins would call out Lesnar the same night that he had a match with Drew McIntyre. Heyman called McIntyre a career killer, though not the career killer Lesnar was. Heyman wondered what the heck Rollins was thinking by picking a fight with McIntyre after he took out Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose last week. McIntyre would then come out to interrupt. He said that he was glad to finally get the respect that he deserves. He then told the crowd to shut up. McIntyre said that he brutalized Reigns and Ambrose last week and advised Heyman to find Lesnar a new opponent for WrestleMania when he does the exact same tonight to Seth Rollins. All of a sudden, Rollins would suddenly appear out of nowhere, rush down the ring, and start attacking McIntyre with a chair, bending this chair all to hell. Excuse me. He bent this chair all to hell, and it was weird because the camera angle they used on TV, what the heck was this? The camera guy was like, every time Rollins would move the chair up and down, the camera would go up and down. Like Rollins' arms in the chair was a controller for the camera. Up, down. But if you go to the WWE Instagram account and go to the, I think it's the Insta Stories. Yeah, it's the Insta Stories, that's all. The angle they got there makes this look like an actual brutal beatdown. It's weird. Crowd cheers for all of this. Lesnar looked on somewhat surprised and maybe even a little impressed. Rollins hit the ring, but Lesnar bailed smiling. Rollins dared him to get in the ring with him. Lesnar looked like he got serious, like he wanted to do it. And then Heyman said, "Brock, no, don't do it." And Brock Lesnar left. Finn Balor would come out, and then they'd go to commercial. When they came back, Finn Balor wanted to wish everybody a belated St. Patrick's Day. He said the luck of the Irish wasn't on his side last week, but it's all right because he plans on becoming the Intercontinental Champion again. He doesn't want to be the former champion too long. Before he could say that, he was interrupted by Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley. Rush said that the little leprechaun was upset because Lashley had his pot of gold around his waist. Great line. The crowd didn't really react, though. Rush had Lashley pose with the belt, saying that this is what you don't have. Balor then wanted him. Balor then warned him that he was going to take that title sooner rather than later, and then introduced his partner as Braun Strowman. And Michael Cole gave this away. Yeah, Joe Decker says it in the chat. So when Finn was coming down for his entrance before the commercial, he goes, Finn Balor and a monstrous opponent will face off against Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. It was like, oh, you just told us it was the monster among men. And I hated this. Not the match, but I hated that it was Braun. I thought Braun working with Lio was perfect in this match. But anyways, you've got Braun the last 2 weeks being a heel. Then he comes out tonight in this match as a babyface. Then later in the show, he's a heel again when he says that he's entering the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal so he can show Michael Chi, I hope I say that guy's name right, Michael Chi and Colin Jost how many men he can slap around at one time. Joe Decker says, Tim, it could have been Lars, who Lars is monstrous, but they don't call Lars a monster. Lars has never had a nickname, the monster among men. So it just gives it away 100% right there when he says a monstrous opponent. Well, who do they call the monster? Braun Strowman, the monster among men. Look, he ain't a tweener. That's not what you call a tweener. That's what you call in one segment a babyface and in the other segment on the same night a heel. That's what you call inconsistent booking. Thank you to TJ for the $1 super chat donation. Also, Thank you to This is George, also with the $1 super chat donation. Arian Banks says, how is he a heel? He got disrespected. Because it's not the fact that he got disrespected. I don't think he got disrespected. The fact that he lifted the guy up and choked him out, and then he beat up their car. Well, I guess he tore up the car that they gifted him. So it's like, I don't know. I thought this match was pretty good, though, but like they went to commercial like 30 seconds in. After the break, the heels worked over Balor. He eventually got the hot tag to Strowman, who came in and literally tossed Rush around the ring. This was great. Lio Rush selling for Braun Strowman is gold. Lashley would save Rush with a spear. Balor gave Lashley a double foot stomp, and then Rush kicked Balor out of the ring. Strowman was still down because of the spear, so Rush dramatically thought, oh man, this man's down. I can hit him with a frog splash. But Strowman did the strong kick out at 2. He did hit the frog splash, but he did the strong kick out at 2, launching Rush into the air. Rush tried to run away, but he was eventually cornered by Balor. Lashley ran over Balor, then Strowman ran over Lashley. Strowman then clotheslined Rush, then gave him a huge choke slam. Lashley walked away, looking as back at Strowman, destroying Rush like, go for it. I don't want any part of you. Strowman finished off Rush with a power slam before a pinfall victory. So it was a very, very just showcase of strength for Strowman. Balor sort of came across like a player as far as the Intercontinental Championship goes, but it led me to believe that this was maybe adding Strowman to the IC title picture. And then we learn later, hey, I'm not going to go for the IC title. I'm going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like, what? If you're going to put him in this match, you got to do it for a reason, right? I thought it was he looked very strong in the match. Lashley wanted no part of Braun, hence running away, sort of. And then that makes Braun look like a strong challenger for the IC title, maybe doing a triple threat with Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, and Bobby Lashley. But I guess they're not going to do that. It was just like, why put Strowman in this match if it's not going to lead to anything? Is my whole theory on that. It was my thought, not theory, but thought on this. So then the announcers talked about Ronda Rousey being fined by the WWE for her actions last week, slapping an official. Rousey and her husband, Travis Browne, were then shown walking into the arena, and I think this was one of the first times they actually said, that's Ronda Rousey's husband, Travis Browne. Like they've said, oh, there's Ronda Rousey's husband once or twice before. But they made a point to name him by name. Security guards and John Cone, the referee, approached her saying, you're late. And he then informed her that WWE officials have hired extra security just in case she tries to get a little handsy again. She just blew him off and kept on walking. Referee also now did mention to her that she was fined an undisclosed amount, but didn't say what that amount was, because if you looked at the article on WWE.com, it said because of the confidentiality clause in Ronda's contract, they're not allowed to say how much she's fined. So what are they saying? That when she signed with the WWE, they have a clause and they're saying, if you ever get in trouble and we have to fine you, we're not allowed to say how much. I don't know. So, going forward, we got a moment of bliss. So Alexa Bliss came out and talked about herself hosting WrestleMania. She said the 1 billion social media followers of the WWE. They've been buzzing about WrestleMania all week. And then she says, and take it away, Cole. Michael Cole then runs down the card for WrestleMania. We got the Universal Championship on the line. We got the Raw Women's Championship in a triple threat match. We got Orton versus AJ, Shane versus Miz in a no-holds-barred match. Triple H versus Batista. They cut back to Bliss. She starts talking again about her hosting WrestleMania. Bliss mentioned, I've been an inspiration to so many since I started my talk show here. I mean, look at YouTuber Lily Singh. She's now she's hosting her own late night show. And I'm like, WWE try to really take credit for stuff like this or make her think she's dumb. Bliss then says, I want to introduce my guest for tonight. I've always wanted to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. Elias comes out. She says, Elias, before you get started, I want you to know that this is a safe space. You will not be interrupted here. We have both had our fair shares of interruptions here lately, but I want to inform you that you will not be interrupted here tonight. And Elias goes on. He says, thank you for that. And I want to say that at WrestleMania, there's been a lot of performances that have taken place in the past, but I can announce here tonight that I myself will be the musical headliner for WrestleMania 35 in the world's greatest city, New York City. Crowd boos as he says that. And here's the thing that I was thinking. So they've been doing this thing where Elias gets interrupted a lot. I mean, 1 week he got interrupted 3 times. Now, he did get interrupted again tonight. But if you go to WrestleMania and you think, well, what are they going to do with Elias other than have him sing a song about New York? He's got to get interrupted, right? What would be the world's greatest interruption? I was thinking that the greatest interruption that they could do, they couldn't have any bigger interruption. I doubt this will happen. I mean, it could, but I think the biggest interruption could be gong, gong, boom, The Undertaker's music. The Undertaker's gong goes off in the middle of him performing. I mean, it plays into last year when he tried to do the stuff with John Cena, and John Cena was like, I just want an Undertaker, da-da-da-da-da, and then the Undertaker finally came out and faced John Cena. So it kind of all ties everything together from last year, kind of with the Undertaker-John Cena stuff as well. So maybe the Undertaker comes out, interrupts Elias, doesn't say a word, just slowly walks down to the ring. Elias is in the ring getting all mad. Oh, crap, fuck, what's going on? This again. I'm getting interrupted at WrestleMania. Undertaker walks in, swings his coat around like he usually does when he gets into the ring, looks at Elias, and just gives him a chokeslam or a tombstone. I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. If I was fantasy booking, that's how I would do it. I mean, yeah, The Rock may get a pretty good reaction. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Yeah, but how it would just be great if Elias is sitting there and he's performing New York City, and then all of a sudden the lights go out. And you kind of hear Elias, and he's like, wait, what's going on? And his mic starts to get all staticky, and it's like cutting in and out. And then all of a sudden you hear, gong, gong. I mean, it'd be perfect. Undertaker would not be out there for any more than 4 minutes. 3 of those would be his entrance. And there you go. Boom. I'm calling it right now. I'm not calling it. I'm fantasy booking it. But anyways. So, Elias is out here. And he's talking about being the musical headliner of WrestleMania. Then he gets interrupted by the music of No Way Jose. But leading the conga line is Otis and Tucker. Alexa Bliss jumps off her chair and goes, I want to apologize. This was not supposed to happen yet. This is actually supposed to happen at the end of my show, Otis. And she's like, something along the lines of, if I can't trust you to listen and follow rules or follow direction, then I won't hire you. I don't know exactly what she said. It was weird the way she said this. But all of a sudden, Elias gets attacked from behind by one of the Conga members, pulls off a mask, and it was No Way Jose. So No Way Jose runs down to the ring. Corey Graves says that he's disgusted by this. Jose reveals that he's wearing a Chicago Cubs shirt, which got a good pop, and he dared Elias to come down and face him in the ring. So then we get Elias versus No Way Jose in just a whatever match. This was just a by-the-books, basic wrestling match, something you would see them training for at the Performance Center. Something it would just be like, it would just be oh, well, you guys are still learning? Here's some basic wrestling moves. Try these moves out. In the end, Elias did get the victory, though. They went back and forth for a little bit before Elias hit a diving elbow and a drift away for the victory. No Way Jose's conga line chanted for him at ringside throughout the match. It was kind of annoying, them being there. Okay, anyway, I'll read something in the chat. Didn't make sense to me. Then Kurt Angle's music would hit. They go to commercial, come back, and Kurt Angle, as we talked about at the top of the show, announced that he wants to face Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. And it's like, why? They then said that Kurt Angle is on his farewell tour. He will be wrestling tonight in Chicago. And he had a 12.5-minute match almost. I think it was like 12.5 minutes with Chad Gable, another former Olympian. And this match was really, really good. Gable wore a USA-themed singlet. And for all the people that were coming at me on Twitter saying, hey, why did Gable have his music? Why did Gable have his old ring gear? Why wasn't Bobby Roode out there with Gable? I think this was just a one-time thing for the week. I don't believe that it means that they're actually breaking up the tag team. I just think he was facing Kurt, so they wanted him to be his own kind of guy and not come out there with the glorious music or any of that. So I think that's all it really was. So, excuse me. Gable and Angle shook hands. Angle told him tonight, the pleasure is all mine. No, Gable said, tonight the pleasure is all mine. You're a hero of mine. I want you to know that. Thank you for the opportunity. The crowd chanted, this is awesome. The match was pretty good. They went back and forth for a bit until Angle caught Gable with a belly-to-belly, sending him out of the ring. There were light dueling chants for John Cena and CM Punk. We Want John Cena then started trending on social media because they did not want Baron Corbin. Gable sent Angle out of the ring and then attacked the leg and proceeded to work it over. The crowd chanted, let's go Kurt, as he fought back and clotheslined Gable out of the ring again. After a commercial break, Angle cut off Gable with a clothesline, then used a back body drop. Angle went for an ankle lock, but Gable rolled through into a cradle for 2. Angle caught him with a German suplex and went for a second, but Gable countered into an ankle lock of his own again. The crowd booed for Gable at this point. Angle then rolled out and went for an Angle slam, but Gable reversed it into a DDT for a near fall. Gable tried a moonsault, and Angle moved and applied an ankle lock. Gable fought to the ropes, but Angle grapevined him in the middle of the ring, and Gable had no choice but to tap out. Very fun match, like I said. Angle once again seemed emotional post-match. He helped Gable to his feet as they hugged, and then Baron Corbin would come out. The crowd booed heavily. Corbin said, it felt good humiliating Angle every week when he was the constable and he was basically running Kurt Angle and telling him what to do and this and that. Crowd chanted, we want Cena. They then cut back to the announcers who ran down some stuff, and the crowd could be heard in the background chanting a thank you, Kurt. After a break, Corbin was backstage talking to the Revival, who were barely paying attention to him. Apollo Crews showed up and said he wanted a chance to shut up Corbin tonight before Angle shut him up for good at WrestleMania. Corbin was about to deflect, but Crews egged him on until he accepted a match. Crews said Corbin made things too difficult, which is why nobody likes him. Corbin said the Revival liked him, and then they laughed and left. So Charlie Caruso was in the ring and interviewed Bayley and Sasha Banks, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Colby Duran, before I go forward, says, what are they going to do about the Jason Jordan storyline? Nothing. Jason Jordan can't wrestle. He's got a really bad neck. They won't clear him. It's just hey, you may remember it, but we're not going to re-mention it kind of thing. So she said, you guys said that you'll defend your titles, Bayley and Sasha, on every brand, any brand. You're here on Raw every week. You've shown up in NXT, but you've never been on SmackDown. The Iconics called you out saying that you may be ducking them. Banks was about to explode on that comment when Bayley said, whoa, let me take this. She said that they were not ducking anybody. They just hadn't been called out yet, and they would be appearing tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, and that their appearance on SmackDown would be iconic. This will then lead to Natalya and Beth Phoenix coming out. Phoenix said that she watched their journey and was proud of them for what they've done in the women's division. She wished that her and Natty had opportunities to be tag team champions back in the day when she was a full-time wrestler. She said getting into it with Tamina and Nia Jax awoke the dragon. She's like, awoke the dragon within me. And said maybe their dream can still come true. Phoenix then said that I will come out of Phoenix said that I will come out of retirement and have one more match against you two, me and Natty versus you two, with the tag team championships on the line at WrestleMania. And they both pointed up at the WrestleMania sign, her and Natty and Beth. Bayley said that they would love to, but maybe WrestleMania is too soon. She said, no offense to you, Beth. And the crowd booed. She goes, but don't you think you need a little more time to prepare for this match? It's been like 6 years since you retired, right? And Bayley was like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just saying. And then Sasha said, this is different now. The competition has evolved since you were an active competitor. Natalya then put over Beth Phoenix Natalya put over Beth Phoenix as a Hall of Famer, said that she wouldn't be afraid to fight them. Banks claimed that Natalya was just riding Phoenix's coattails trying to get a match at WrestleMania. Natalya would then go on to smack Banks, and then Banks would hit her with a double leg and take her down. Phoenix tossed Banks aside, so Bayley got in her face. Phoenix pushed her down. Bayley almost flew out of the ring here. Bayley then got to her feet and tore her shirt off, and they abruptly went to break. Crowd was kinda into this, but not really. Legend Steeler says WWE should clear Edge to wrestle again. No. Edge had too many neck injuries. He had too severe of a neck injury to be cleared again, and Edge has said it on his podcast many times. He doesn't want to wrestle anymore. He's fine with being retired. He likes being retired. That his injuries were so bad that if he would have kept wrestling, he could have ended up paralyzed. And he's glad that he ended his career when he did, and he has no regrets of that. So, A, he's so injured that he can't get cleared, and B, he doesn't want to be cleared. He doesn't want to wrestle anymore. He'll come back and make appearances like he did on the 900th or the 1000th, the 900th and the 1000th episode of SmackDown and stuff, but he's not going to wrestle. He'll maybe take a bump, I don't know. But, we're just looking at some other things in the chat. Noah Hall asks, is Ciampa's neck going to be as bad as Paige, Jordan, and Edge? I don't know. Haven't heard anything. It doesn't seem like it. We would have, if it was that bad, we may have heard something by now, but I don't know. I don't know. So, going back to Raw here, we did get Natalya versus Sasha Banks. Match went like maybe 3 minutes. Joe Decker, I haven't got there yet. Well, actually, I did already talk about that. Technically. I kind of skipped ahead to talk about that. Battle Royal. During the match, Nia Jax interrupted and cut a promo from the stage. Jax mocked Phoenix and said that she's accomplished more in her 3 years than Beth Phoenix did in her entire career, which drew a Hall of Famer chant. Jax also called herself the stronger and prettier version of the Glamazon. And are you freaking kidding me? In 3 years, she's done more than Beth Phoenix, my ass. Beth Phoenix is a multi-time women's champion. Beth Phoenix probably had one of the best freaking storyline gimmick deals in the mid-2000s with Santino. Glamarella was one of my favorite things. I mean, I loved it when Santino would call it the Glamour-Lamazon. The Glamour-Lamazon. And he would always hide behind her when danger would ensue. It was freaking great. You cannot tell me that Nia has done better things in her quote-unquote 3 years than Beth did in her whole career. The Glamourella stuff was way better than anything Nia had done in her career. I mean, I can go on for days just talking about Santino and Beth. I mean, that stuff was just money, gold. Santino, I think he semi-retired due to injury. He's now got his Battle Arts Academy in Canada where they train pro wrestling and MMA. And they do run shows there too. So this would all lead to a distraction where Tamina would attack Phoenix from behind. Tamina also dished out super kicks for Bayley and Banks. Referee called for the bell and Natalya went to check on Beth. I guess it was a DQ because Sasha took a super kick, but they never really said that. So it looks like we're going to get they didn't announce this, but Nia said something about she'd see them all at Mania. And I think we're going to end up getting a fatal four-way for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. It's going to be Bayley and Sasha. This is what I believe is going to happen. Bayley and Sasha defending against Natty and Beth, Nia and Tamina, and the Iconics. That's what I think is what they're building up towards. Lane Shearer says, I mean, Beth didn't win a title at WrestleMania, did she? No, but I mean, what does that mean? So? She didn't win a title in Mania, but hold on. Just because the one time Nia won a title was at WrestleMania doesn't mean anything. It really does not mean anything at all. I mean, let me run down the accomplishments of Miss Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix. Here we go. Beth Phoenix. 1-time Divas Champion. 3-time Women's Champion. Hall of Famer. Diva of the Year 2008. OVW Women's Champion. Glory Champion. She even Amateur Wrestling Champion. Both in the northeast of the country and in just the state of New York. So, I don't know. Just saying. Or anyone that tries to defend Nia's comments there? No. There's no way. Yeah. And they said that tonight, it's bittersweet for her being here in Chicago tonight because this is where she won her first championship. So, moving forward, Mojo was yelling at himself in the mirror again. And there was nothing really much to say here, other than he was yelling at himself in the mirror, and it was kind of interesting. Legend Steelers in the chat says, why did Christian retire from wrestling? Too many concussions. Next up, we got Ricochet versus Jinder Mahal. Now, I got questions on this one, too. Like, they just killed the Aleister Black Ricochet combo? No. Last couple of days, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega got some time off to go on their honeymoon. And then Zelina posted today that they had just returned to home from their honeymoon. So they had said, and Michael Cole went on to go, Ricochet, he's been teaming with Aleister Black, but Aleister Black isn't here today because he's taking care of some business back in his home country. I'm like, okay. You're not going to say that he's on his honeymoon, but whatever. They're not going to say that. So, 6.5-minute match. Ricochet versus Jinder Mahal. Mahal got the heat after the Sings got involved. Ricochet eventually came back with a dropkick, Hurricane Rana, running shoulder block, flying clothesline, standing shooting star press for a 2. And yes, I said it that fast because that's how fast it all happened. As the Sings checked on Mahal outside the ring, Ricochet took them all out with a space flying tiger drive. Ricochet then hit Mahal with a 630 for the pinfall victory. Crowd really liked Ricochet here, but Mahal in control early, caused a little booze, but it's all good because Ricochet picked up the victory. They then announced that Sue Aitchison, I hope I say that right, is going to be the recipient of the Warrior Award, and the Warrior Award is finally what Ultimate Warrior pitched it to be. So, when Ultimate Warrior first pitched them doing a Warrior Award type of award, he said that he thinks that the Warrior Award should go to somebody that works backstage behind the scenes in WWE that has done great things for the company, but has never really been touted to the masses. And this is what we're finally getting here. Sue Hutchison has been a talent relations person for 30 years, at least, if not longer. And apparently, she's like their main line of communication with Make-A-Wish, and she's helped set up like 600 or more different Make-A-Wishes. I think they said 600. Either 600 or 6,000, something like that. But throughout her 30 years here, she's helped a lot with the WWE and their Make-A-Wish stuff and some other charitable stuff. And from all the comments they were saying online, it doesn't seem like there's a person that's ever worked for WWE that did not have good things to say about her. So, Dr. Fuentes then interviewed Seth Rollins about his attack on McIntyre earlier. Rollins was wearing some special Chicago Bears gear because that's his favorite team, and they were in Chicago. Rollins said tonight was for Dean and Roman. He said that it was also for Lesnar, who he hoped was watching his match. Rollins said that he would burn Suplex City straight to the ground. So Ronda Rousey comes out, and then in the back. So first Ronda Rousey comes out, and they go straight to commercial. While they were at commercial, WWE aired a video package in the building for Chicago, telling them what's coming soon, or coming later this year in Chicago, and they did announce SmackDown on Friday the 23rd, NXT TakeOver War Games on the 24th, Survivor Series on the 25th, and Raw on the 26th. I think I got that all right. I might have got the dates slightly mixed up. With Survivor Series weekend, we are getting, again, another War Games. So I guess it's the tradition now. So Ronda Rousey's in the ring after the commercial, playing some weird music that's not Ronda's music. And Charlie Caruso interviews Dana Brooke in the back, basically asked her, this is your first championship opportunity. I want to say congratulations on that one. But do you know what you're getting yourself into? Dana Brooke knew what everyone was thinking. But she said, we're on the road to WrestleMania, and this is where dreams come true and the underdogs can reign supreme. She just needed to be, she says, I may not always be better than Ronda, but I need to be better than her for at least 3 seconds tonight to win the championship. This match went 17 seconds. So Rousey was booed when she entered the ring because she was all business. And Dana Brooke comes down. They ring the bell. Brooke was kicked, slapped, boom. Ronda does a flying armbar type maneuver and just quickly taps her out. After the match, Ronda's like, I don't need any of this shit. And she gets out of the ring. She goes over to her husband, who's in the front row. And she kisses her husband, and he's trying to be all lovey-dovey. He's like, And she's like, oh, this fucking bitch. She's all pissed off that she had to be there tonight, I guess. And he's trying to be all lovey-dovey, and then security comes down. She looks at security, she slaps the crap out of one of the security, jumps on him, starts punching him and punching him and punching him. Then for some reason, security goes and gets in her husband's face, so he just decks the security, literally kills the guy. The guy falls straight down to the ground, doesn't even move. Ronda finally stands back up, and her husband, Travis Brown, grabs her, pulls her up over the barricade like she weighed like 10 pounds, and he's trying to calm her down for a second, and they go to walk off. And as they go to walk off, Ronda's still yelling back at the security and whatnot, and he's pushing her along, and they both turn around, and he just taps her on the ass. And they just keep on walking like it's what you do when a couple walks away. You smack your girl on the ass. You didn't smack her hard or anything, but you tapped her ass like, let's go. It was pretty funny. And they walked to the back, and that was the last you see of Ronda Rousey. I don't know if this means that Travis Brown's going to get into wrestling, if he's going to become a WWE superstar, or if it was just the one-time thing, or if it's going to be a I don't know. It was interesting. Thai TV says, Travis Brown, who the fuck is that guy? It's Ronda Rousey's husband and heavyweight UFC fighter Travis Brown. That's who he is. So with that, We then get Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. Match went about 4.5 minutes. And like the first thing Michael Cole says when this match starts, the fans on social media, there's kind of an uproar. They're upset that Baron Corbin was chosen to take on Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? I get why they said it, to get more heat on Baron Corbin. To show that Corbin's the bad guy and Kurt's going to overcome the big bad booty. I don't even fucking know what I'm saying here. It was just so dumb of them to say that. Corbin worked over Crews for a little while. Crowd chanted, "We want Cena." Corbin went for the end of days, but Crews countered into a small package for the victory. Angle came out to congratulate Crews on the stage. There you go. Match went about 4 minutes long. We then get a live Batista interview via satellite from his home office in Tampa. Those unaware, this was not live via satellite. I don't know when this was filmed, but it was filmed prior to today because Batista's in like Budapest or something right now, filming his new movie Dune, and that's a star-studded movie. Lionsgate and Warner Brothers did announce today that the movie did start filming today overseas. So Batista, yes, he was live via satellite on Raw, air quotes, live via satellite on Raw, but it really wasn't. So Cole asked Batista why he wanted to match Triple H, to which he responded, "I just don't like him." Cole didn't like the answer and said, "Well, does this go back to your days in Evolution?" And Batista said, "No, it goes back further than that." "Really? Further than that? How?" Batista said people credit his success to Triple H, taking him under his wing. He said Triple H groomed him to be his muscle, and he had a history of using people to protect him. DX and Evolution were basically the same thing. Cole mentioned Batista quitting WWE. Batista said he left because of Hunter. But look at his accomplishments since. But he said, "But look at my accomplishments since leaving." He said, "I've become a huge movie star without Hunter." He said, "Now he's in control." Cole said that I've known Hunter for 20 years, and he's always been fair to me, and has, done so much with NXT. Batista said, Hunter has him fooled. They don't call him the cerebral assassin for nothing. Batista then said that hopefully Vince will fire Hunter. Then he would end his career at WrestleMania. He then said this is over and demanded everyone get out of his office. Derek Boach says they did a really good job selling that live feed, though. I mean, they usually do. Most of the live via satellites are never actually live via satellite. So, Dorsey Cox says if that live, then I'm talking to you for next week. I don't get your comment there, bud. So then backstage, Braun Strowman was being interviewed by Charlie Caruso, and she asked Strowman about the SNL guys and their comments on Twitter. Strowman said he didn't care about these two idiots and what they said on Twitter. He said that they made him so mad that he was entering the men's battle royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, just so he can show them how many people he can get his hands on and slap around at one time. Bliss then showed up and said, "You know what? I want to make peace." She wanted to patch things up between them. Strowman threatened to break them in half. She then pleaded with him again. He said, "I give you a week to set something up." So Drew McIntyre comes out. McIntyre said Reigns wasn't the same man at Fastlane and relied on his Shield brothers to do all the heavy lifting. But the Shield wasn't no more thanks to him. He said this was now his yard. He had a message for Reigns, not the superstar Roman Reigns, but for the man Joe. He said Joe was sitting at home now because of him and challenged him to a match at WrestleMania. So, like I said, looks like we're going to get Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns WrestleMania. I said it last week. Very obvious now. He told Joe to look at his wife, Look at the tears in the eyes of his children. He and the fans knew that Joe would answer yes, but he urged Joe to say no for the sake of his family. What he did to Ambrose and what he'll do tonight to Rollins is nothing compared to what he'll do to Reigns at WrestleMania. McIntyre said Reigns beat leukemia, but he can't beat him at WrestleMania. A seething Seth Rollins would appear on the screen and said that was the reason he did what he did earlier. Then they abruptly cut to a replay of the chair attack. Rollins said the attack earlier was for his brothers, but this was going to be for himself. He ran down the ramp. McIntyre met him halfway up the ramp. They started trading blows, and referees and officials broke him up. The announcers talked about how stupid Rollins was for taking this match so close to WrestleMania. Basically, with Corey Graves saying that. Rollins went for a moonsault to the outside, but McIntyre swatted him right into the barricade. It looked awful. Like, hurt bad awful. Not looked bad, but... After a break, Rollins went for a suicide dive, and McIntyre caught him and drove him into the barricade again. McIntyre grabbed a steel chair and was ready to use it, but Rollins caught him with a super kick. They then beat a 10 count into the ring. Then Rollins suddenly fired up, setting up consecutive dives. Then a sling blade for a 2 count. Rollins went for a boot, but McIntyre dodged it and hit a reverse Alabama slam for a 2. Rollins took a nasty bump off of that move, landing hard on his face and his shoulder. I think he's all right, though. McIntyre went to the top rope, but Rollins sprinted up and nailed a superplex, followed by the Falcon Arrow for a 2. Crowd chanted, "Burn it down." Rollins hit a super kick to the gut when Lesnar's music would hit. Rollins decided to look at the stage instead. He turned around and boom, ate a huge Claymore kick to the face. McIntyre pinned him 1, 2, 3. Very lame ending here to the show. Thought the match itself was really good, but the way... So, Brock's music hits. Brock and Heyman walk out on the stage, and Brock hands the Universal title over to Heyman, so you think, oh, Brock's coming down to the ring. Heyman's holding the title up, and Brock's just standing there, and then does nothing. Seth loses, Brock laughs, the show goes off the air. And that was Monday Night Raw. So, that was Monday Night Raw. Now, I want to hear what you guys have to say about tonight's Monday Night Raw. You guys can either call in or text into the show. You can call in at 559-475-8473, 559-475-8473. You can also text in your questions and comments to 510-906-1341, 510-906-1341. So as we wait for those calls and text messages to come in, again, the numbers are in the live chat as well. We'll look at the chat itself. Didi says, I kind of expected Brock to be involved in the ending, but was a bit shocked that it was non-physical. I was too. I really thought maybe Brock would come down after. Like, the whole thing would be, oh, Brock wants to do the distraction, but he wants no part of Seth. Like, you know, he ran from Seth earlier in the night, but once Seth's down, then he's going to get him. So, Daniel Flores says, Sami Zayn win. Is he coming back? Anytime now. He's cleared from last I heard. In the text line, it says, do you think Dean Ambrose will have a match at Mania? That's a tough one. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on them setting anything up for him at WrestleMania. So we'll have to just really wait and see. But let's take a call. Caller on the air, what's going on?
Hey, Jim.
How's it going?
Good. I have a couple things.
Okay.
What's going on with Mojo Rawley? Like, what are they trying to do with him?
I honestly, your guess is as good as mine.
Are they just like, you know? And for Ronda's husband, was that kind of meant for him to attack security, or did he? I mean, that probably was, right?
He would not have done that if he wasn't told to do that.
Okay. And I know this is probably something too, but I was kind of hoping it would be seen at Gable. I mean, I knew that probably Corbin and Angle makes sense because of what Corbin's done in the past, but yeah, I was kind of hoping to be Angle and Cena.
And that's what a lot of people were hoping. That's what I was hoping. It would have just all gone full circle, you know. Cena's first match was against Angle, so Angle's last match could be against Cena. And I just thought it would have been good. It would have been a decent to good match. Probably wouldn't have been a great match, but I mean, it would have had more star power than this match has.
All right, well, thanks.
All right. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
Yep, you.
All right, so let's take this call here. Caller in the air, what's going on?
Hey Tim, how you doing?
Pretty good, yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I got, I think, 2 questions.
Go for it.
All right, so, what do you think? Sorry, hang on, let me rephrase that. Do you think Gargano is gonna pop on TV now that Ciampa is gone with an injury?
Probably not. He's just going to stay down there. They already filmed everything for NXT leading up to TakeOver. They've got a match. I don't want to say spoilers here, but they've got a match for him with the NXT Championship on the line. So I think they're just going to keep him down there for the time being. And then whether they want to bring him up or not will probably be something they decide for after WrestleMania if he is coming to the main roster.
Mm. And what's the expected, time frame for Ciampa return? Do you know at all?
I have not heard anything. When I did some research on the type of surgery he did have, it said that it could be upwards of 18 months.
18 months? That's insane.
I mean, he had neck fusion surgery, so we didn't hear. I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, for us to not hear anything bad is good. Because if something would have been bad, would have went bad with the surgery, or they would have found something within the surgery that was alarming, then we probably would have heard of that, and WWE probably wouldn't have posted all the photos of the surgery on their website. So I believe with them doing that and us not hearing anything bad is a good sign. But as far as a timetable for returning and all that, I haven't heard anything. And one other good sign was, I think Ciampa posted a photo during Fastlane of him from his home, and he wasn't wearing a neck brace or anything. So that's also a good sign that he wasn't wearing a neck brace only 4 days after having surgery.
Wait, was that the one where he was holding the NXT Championship, or was that a different one?
It was a black and white. I think he might have been holding the title. It was a black and white photo where he's sitting on a couch. He's got a crutch next to him. I don't remember if he was holding the belt or not, but he said he's on the fast lane to recovery.
The one that he holding the championship, he was wearing the kind of cushion thing on your neck.
I might have missed that. Let me look it up then.
And okay, so on my comment, because I was the lame guy. Okay, so my comment about the whole WrestleMania and Beth Phoenix thing, that wasn't me being pro Nia Jax or anything. I was just saying because I had no idea.
Gotcha.
So, not pro Nia. So just
Gotcha. So with that, I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
All right, you too, man.
All right, let's just jump in here. First, let's check out the text messages. Another person asking about Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania. Don't know. Any chance of rebooking the Angle match? I'm going to Mania and I'm surely disappointed. No. What they announced tonight, they're not going to change. Sorry, let me turn my... Whenever I want to preface this now. If you ever hear while we're on one of these live streams and we finish a call and my audio gets really, really loud, it's an issue with Skype where once I end a call, my audio just shoots all the way up for some reason, and then I got to readjust it. So I want to apologize for that if anybody's listening with headphones. But as far as the Angle match goes, they're not going to change it. What they announced tonight is what they're going to do. I can probably say with 99% certainty that they are not going to change that match. And what they announced tonight is what they're going to do. Because I think their whole thing was, we're going to announce this match. The fans are not going to be happy. There's going to be so much heel heat on Baron Corbin at WrestleMania, and that's what they want. A lot of heel heat on Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. This person has a good comment. 504 says, another Raw gone without any direction for the tag team division towards WrestleMania. It was very odd that we didn't get anything for the tag team division. I mean, Gable worked as a singles. Ricochet obviously had to work as a singles because Black wasn't there. But it was very odd. And the only thing we saw of the champions were, we're not friends of Baron Corbin. Like, what? Let's take a call. Caller on the air, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Tim?
How's it going?
Doing all right. Question for you.
Sure.
Talking about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Since they've been playing everything off with the Colin Jost and the Michael Chi thing, do you think they're going to have them go into the Battle Royal and be in there with Strowman?
I wouldn't put it against them. I was thinking the same thing earlier.
Because, I mean, they're building up this whole rivalry, and I don't know why, but they're building it up, first, Colin was interfering with the business, but then they try to win Braun's heart back with a car and whatnot. I think it would be liable if they would do it, but, I mean, what's your thoughts?
I think Braun should win the match, but I can also see them coming in like halfway through the match or when the match is almost over and distracting Braun Strowman somehow. I don't know exactly how they would do that. And then like 3-4 guys get Braun out together maybe, and then Braun just gets all mad and chases them around the building, around the stadium.
Oh, exactly.
So I can see them maybe
I think
screwing
that'd be
Braun
kinda
or something, like distracting him, causing him to get eliminated. Because I mean, if we learned anything from last year's WrestleMania, it looks like Braun Strowman's the new WrestleMania comedy guy.
Well, pretty much. I mean, you think about it. I mean, they were pushing them to be a main eventer, but I don't know. I guess Vince just wants him to be more of a comedy person. And,
I don't understand it either.
I'm just kind of wondering about that. And also, why didn't we not see Charlotte or Becky tonight?
They're gonna be on SmackDown tomorrow. I don't understand this. I've been saying it for like a month now that they're devoting time to a Raw angle on SmackDown, and they're gonna do it again tomorrow. I could just expect both women to be on SmackDown tomorrow, talking about facing the Raw champion when we don't even know what the SmackDown champion is doing at WrestleMania. So I get the way they put it as far as, well, they're SmackDown superstars, so they have to be on SmackDown every week. But what we've learned is that really doesn't matter. So that's why we don't see them on Raw, because they just want to take up the time on SmackDown because they have nothing else better for SmackDown.
Exactly. Well, what's the plans for Asuka Mania?
I really haven't heard. At one point, I heard that they were going to have her in a singles match. Then I've heard multi-woman match. I've heard a bunch of different things, and I don't know what to believe. So,
yeah, because it's really a waste because Asuka's a great champion, and I think she's, and to be honest with you, she's way better than. No offense to Charlotte or Becky or Ronda, she's way better. I mean, I loved her in NXT, and she was just fantastic. And,
I'd say she's as good, if not a little better than Charlotte. Charlotte's right up there, though. Her and Charlotte are probably the two best females they have.
Oh, I definitely agree. And I was agreeing with you listening to the whole thing. Your last telecast, man. Nia Jax, they're making her into an idiot, saying that she's done way more than that scene.
Oh yeah, dumb.
I was like,
dumb.
I'm like, why? Why you have not done shit? I mean, the only thing you've ever done was hit Becky Lynch upside the face by accident, and then on Total Divas, you're crying about it.
I don't get it at all.
I'm like, right. So, But anyways, we'll listen to him. Thank you for taking my call, and you have a good night.
You too. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So with that, we're going to wrap things up here tonight. That was Monday Night Raw. Thought the show had a lot of hits and a couple of hits and a lot of misses. And a lot of you keep asking about Undertaker versus Elias. I pitched my idea on how they can do Undertaker versus Elias. I don't know if they're going to do Undertaker versus Elias. I don't even know if Undertaker's going to show up at WrestleMania. I fantasy booked it my way. We'll see how it all does go. Again, follow us right here on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications when we do go live or post new videos. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. And keep an eye out on our website, pwunlimited.net. Now, I got some questions about how could people know when we post new things on our website? Do we have an app or something for that? No, I don't have an app, but, what you can do is you can download an RSS feed app on your cell phone. You can then go in on the app and type in what websites you want to follow. You just put in pwunlimited.net. It should come right up. Add it to your RSS feed. And then when we do post new things on our website, sometimes we post things over there that don't go to the YouTube. When we do post things over there, then your RSS feed app will give you a notification saying, hey, boom, new post over here. And you can do that not just with our website, but with any of the wrestling news websites or basically any website. If you want to follow a website that doesn't have an app, just put them into an RSS feed app and it'll give you notifications whenever that website you're following does post something new on their site. So again, if you want to follow our website, no, we don't have an app, but you can follow us through an RSS feed app. So just a little heads up, because I did get some questions over the last week or so about that. We will be live again tomorrow following SmackDown. Everybody, I hope you have a great night. We're only 20 days till WrestleMania. Have a good night, guys.